Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to decode something truly fascinating, an ancient emotional blueprint, a system that's 2,000 years old, designed to explain exactly how art makes us feel. Let's dive right in.
You know that feeling, right? That powerful, almost physical reaction you have to a piece of art. It's universal. But what if I told you there's a system, you could almost call it a science, designed to explain that very mystery?
Well, that system is Indian poetics. And this isn't just some dusty academic literary criticism. It's a deep, really rich tradition that literally maps out the emotional landscape of art and how we experience it. It doesn't just ask what art is, it asks how it works its magic on us.
Okay, so to get a little more specific, we're really looking at two sides of the same coin. You've got Indian poetics, that's the how. Think of it as the artist's toolbox, the techniques they use. Then there's Indian aesthetics, that's the why. It's the philosophy of what's actually happening inside our minds when we see that art. For this, we're going to see how they work together to paint the whole picture.
And here is the single most important idea. According to this way of thinking, art isn't just here to entertain us. Its real job is to create a specific, refined flavor of feeling. And that word flavor is the key to unlocking this entire system.
So this idea of a special flavor of feeling brings us to the absolute core concept of everything we're talking about today, the theory of rasa. This is the big answer to that question we started with, why art can move us so deeply.
The word rasa in Sanskrit literally means juice, essence, or flavor. I want you to think of it like the aesthetic flavor of an emotion. It's not the raw, messy feeling you have in real life. No, this is a refined, universal essence of that feeling, which a great piece of art allows you to savor.
So how in the world does an artist create this flavor? Well, believe it or not, there is a recipe for it. It comes from this foundational text and it needs three key ingredients. First, you need the vibhava, that's the stimulus, the cause of the emotion. Then you add the anubhava, that's the physical reaction you can see. And finally, you have the vyabhicharidibhava. These are all the little fleeting moods that dance around the main feeling. When an artist gets that mix just right, boom, rasa is created.
And just to give you a sense of how profound this experience is meant to be, the great philosopher Abhinavagupta said that experiencing rasa is like experiencing spiritual bliss. So we're not just talking about feeling happy or sad here. This is a transcendent experience. Art becomes a pathway to something much deeper.
Okay, so if rasa is the flavor, what are the different kinds on the menu? Well, that brings us to the navarasa, which you can translate as the 9 rasas or the 9 flavors.
These classical thinkers basically mapped out the entire spectrum of human aesthetic experience and organized it into these 9 fundamental types. It's like a complete emotional palette that an artist can work with. And just look at the sheer range of emotions here. It covers everything from Sringara, which is love and romance, to Vira, the heroic. But what's really amazing is that it also systematizes the difficult emotions, like Bhayanaka, which is terror, and Karuna, which is sorrow. Each one is considered its own unique, valid flavor for an audience to experience.
Let's break one down, okay? So to create Vira Rasa, the flavor of heroism, an artist would use causes, like scenes of bravery or leadership, and that would be expressed through reactions like bold actions or displays of patience. You combine all of that, and the audience gets to savor the pure essence of courage.
Now let's flip to a totally different flavor. Look at Karuna Rasa, or compassion. Here the causes are tragic, loss, misfortune, death, and the expressions are things we all instantly recognize, tears, a catch in the breath. Through this recipe, we don't just feel sad for a character, we experience the purified, universal essence of sorrow itself. Now while rasa is definitely the soul of the experience, Indian poetics is clear that you need other crucial, supporting ingredients to give the art its shape and its beauty. Let's quickly touch on the big ones.
First up, you have Alankāra, which means ornament. Think of these as the figures of speech, the similes, the metaphors. They're not just fancy decoration. They are the actual tools an artist uses to sharpen the emotion and make the whole experience beautiful.
Next is Dhvani, or suggestion. This one is so cool. It's often called the soul of poetry because it's all about the unspoken meaning, the things that resonate just beneath the surface of the words. It's how art creates those deep emotional echoes that let you feel way more than what's being explicitly said.
And finally, there's Auchitya, or propriety. You can think of this as the principle of harmony. It's the idea that every single element has to fit together perfectly. If a heroic character uses the wrong kind of language, or a tragic scene has the wrong rhythm, the rasa just won't work. Auchitya is the glue that holds the entire masterpiece together.
So after all this theory, let's bring it right back to you. Why does any of this ancient system matter to you right now as you're about to watch a movie or listen to your favorite song?
Well, it gives us a whole new way to think about things. A great comparison is with the Western concept of catharsis from the ancient Greeks. Catharsis is all about purging an emotion, right? Getting it out of your system. But rasa is fundamentally different. It's not about getting rid of the feeling. It's about savoring it, relishing its pure aesthetic flavor without any of the personal pain that usually comes with it.
And this leads us to this beautiful, final concept, emotional alchemy. I love this term. This is the real magic of art. It takes our raw, messy, personal feelings, like real-world anger or grief, and it transforms them into something refined and universal, something beautiful, like Raudra Asa or Karuna Rasa.
And that right there is the genius of this whole system. It explains how we can engage so deeply with even the most painful stories in art. It's because art creates a safe space. It gives us just enough distance so we aren't personally wounded, but not so much that we become detached. We get to feel everything, profoundly and most importantly, safely.
So, I'll leave you with this little challenge. The next time a movie or a poem or a piece of music just stops you in your tracks and makes you feel something powerful, just pause for a second and ask yourself, what is the flavor here? What rasa am I tasting? You now have a whole new blueprint to understand the incredible art of feeling.